Hello friends, my name is Shivam from Devops Schools and I will help you to enable your learning process in various technologies of DevOps, artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data and many more. This is our initiative to help you by sharing multiple tutorials and videos. And if you want any specific tutorials or any particular topic, then please do comment in the below comment section and I will help you with it. Also, please subscribe to our premium services on YouTube, which will give you access to more content and videos to enhance your knowledge about all these topics. Also, if you want me to help you with regards to the online trainings and classroom sessions by our qualified trainers, then please do write me at contact@devopsschool.com. Thank you.
So we start with Docker. When we talk about Docker, that is container. What do you understand by container? Why you need containers? Some of you people are already working on it. Tell me why you need containers. What is container and why you need containers?
So mainly the container is a specific environment we create inside the virtual machine, and that is made where you have the list of images and software that mean for that specific application which are independent. So that's the purpose of container.
Okay. What else?
Yeah, Gopal. So container is mainly used to encapsulate all the applications in one place. It's kind of a bucket where we do not have to use our own applications to install in our on-prem devices. Rather, we just can to hook it up to the server and can start using it.
Good. What else?
Container is nothing but runtime instance, uh, lightweight. We can say that lightweight virtual machine. So
Mini VM. Yeah.
yes. So actually VM in earlier days, if you use virtual machines, it will actually there is a preserve. We have to preserve some memory and CPU. But if you take a container, but it won't. No need to like provide a particular memory space, and whenever you are running that container, it will take that memory and space, and whenever you close that, it won't use it.
Good. What type of application you need to develop to use containers?
Docker.
Web applications.
Anything?
We have LXC as well. LXC.
That is one type of container. Okay. Let me tell you. You know that the whole IT landscape is changing. Like we have cloud, we have apps, we have DevOps nowadays. Okay. And everything is moving to the cloud. When we are moving to the cloud, there are problems in the cloud. There is no portability across environment, is it right? there is no portability across environment. When I say no portability across environment, what do you understand by this?
It's not environment dependent.
Because once we deploy my application on top of Amazon, if I want to migrate it to Azure, can you do it? No, na? Is it right?
Yes, Gopal.
The reason behind it is like same process I need to follow. Like I have previously, whatever process I have done to migrate my application from on-premises to the cloud, same thing if I want to migrate one application from one cloud to another cloud, it is like same migration. Everything I have to move it. There is a vendor lock-in in the cloud. And these are some of the drawbacks of the cloud. Few drawbacks of the cloud. Because of that, we are moving to containerization. And there is huge application transformation is going on. When we say application transformation is going on, like from monolithical to what?
Microservice.
Microservice. So we are moving our monolithical architecture to microservices. What is monolithical architecture? And what is microservice? Please be interactive. That way only we will
Monolithic is
understand
like a
more.
single entity. Yeah, monolithic is like the whole application will be running, let's say, on a single server or something like that, right? You are doing some patching or something, then the whole application will be impacted. Whereas microservices will be more modular, like you will divide the whole application into separate modules and then can use these containers to run individually and independently.
When we talk about monolithical architecture, okay, like SAP is a monolithical architecture where everything has been tightly integrated together. If you want to upgrade any of the module, the whole module need to be taken down, upgraded. After upgrading it, after you upgrade it, then again you need to compile it. When you want to compile it, it takes another few hours. So till the time the application is not up and running, the whole app will be down. Okay. Nowadays, that type of architecture do not work because our life is too faster. Okay. And if I have an application which takes time to upgrade, patch it, it don't work. Okay. So we are breaking down the application. We are breaking down the application into smaller pieces. We are breaking down the application into smaller pieces and creating microservices. Any example of microservice?
Flipkart, Amazon applications.
Yeah,
The retailer.
Amazon. What? Yeah, we can say Amazon and Flipkart.
Anything else?
Best example is Netflix. Video content sessions are coming. Lot of API they have developed. All they are in microservice. Netflix.
Good. What else?
Yeah, if we can consider Flipkart or any e-retailers the different modules that we have,
E-commerce
like operations, e-commerce applications, like operations or payment or logistics. These are different modules kind of spawning into different microservices.
For example, we take the example of payment gateway. Previously, I select a product, go to the payment gateway, I do the payment and it failed. The payment has been deducted. Again, I need to fight with these people. But nowadays, it's not failing because most of the payment gateway nowadays run on microservices, like encryption will be one service, then encryption check, you can say. Then connecting with merchant bank is a one service. Then checking your balance will be one service. Then connecting with Visa or MasterCard will be one service. So what happened is that earlier the payment gateway is one single app, around 20,000 lines of code. We break down this into smaller pieces, around 600 lines of code. When we break down this application into smaller pieces, around 600 lines of code, so what is happening is that we get the benefit of, like, if there is a bug in the code, I can easily identify it, rectify it, and make my app again up and running again. Okay. Similar to that. Now, but the problem arises here. When we say the problem arises here is that in payment gateway, okay, if I break down into 4 different parts, so I need 4 servers to manage the same. Okay, we got an idea that the whole market is nowadays running on microservices. Everyone is using microservices, everyone like it. But when microservices has come into picture, the problem arises that how we are going to run those microservices. So container has come into picture. Container help you to run microservices, means on top of one single server, we can run this microservices. Okay. And all the application now are being modernized. When we say modernization, okay. Previously, if you do a minor code change, you need to do recompile and retest the whole application. And your application will be single point of failure. Scaling become difficult. Because of microservices, we are breaking our application into separate operations. And the benefit of this is that every app will be independent, scalable, they are stateless, highly available by design. Plus, there is something called as continuous integration. CI/CD is also come into picture. What is CI/CD?
Gopal, your voice is breaking. Everybody is just getting or myself only?
I can hear.
Hello.
What is CI/CD?
Actually, I'm getting Gopal voice is not clear for me.
Who? Sai?
Yeah, yes. Your voice is breaking meanwhile. When you're speaking, your voice is breaking.
I don't think so. My voice. Is my voice breaking or?
Myself, myself only getting this fluctuation or everybody else?
No, I think you are just getting. It's fine for me. What about others?
Yeah, it's fine
Yeah,
for me also.
we can hear you both actually.
Yeah, we can hear.
Hi, can you check your audio? I don't know. Maybe because of fluctuation in internet.
Okay.
What is CI/CD? What is continuous integration, continuous delivery?
Uh, Seamless application development, testing, and deployment without much dependency on each stage.
Okay. Anything else? Anyone who is a developer and who is doing CI/CD? Any one of
Yes,
you?
Gopal. So CI/CD is an application that we use to deploy our code to higher environments without any dependencies on the subsequent grants or environment specific privileges. So any developer can use that um, to just pick up the code and deploy it to the higher environment. It takes care of the unit testing. It takes care the syntax of the code is correct or not. So yeah, so that's the thing.
Good, good. When we talk about CI/CD, or we called it continuous integration and continuous delivery. Okay. It is a set of culture nowadays. It is a set of culture or set of operating principle and collection of practice that enables application development team to deliver code changes more frequently and reliably. So it is a principle nowadays when developer develop a code, okay, they need more frequent, like in waterfall model, if you go to the older waterfall model, okay, so code changes is not frequently happening because they have all the information available. According to that, they are doing deployment. But nowadays, whenever you are making changes in the code, okay, it should happen frequently. Okay. Like you have, like if you are sitting with your developer, like they get 1 day sprint for smaller changes in the code, 2 day sprint for more bigger changes in the code, or maximum 7 or 21 days if there is. Means like previously, whenever we make changes in the code, we do a lot of activity, then only it takes around a month to make changes on the code, because we need to see that if I make changes in my code, there should be no implication on the application. But nowadays, code changes happen frequently. So when we are changing my code frequently, it need to be reliable also. Okay, like if I am developing an microservice, if I am developing a microservice, okay, 600 lines of code. When I am developing a microservice where we have 600 lines of code, so I need to ensure 600 lines of code. I need to ensure that the code should be perfect. The quantity of the code is smaller. Lines are smaller. Previously in waterfall model, we used to write down 30,000 lines of code. Bugs will be always there, the bigger the code is. But now, if I have 600 lines of code, it should be perfect in nature. Okay. So when we talk about CI/CD, it is one of the best practice for DevOps team to implement, and sometimes it is also called as agile methodology best practice. It enables the development team to focus on meeting business requirement, code quality, and security also, because the whole deployment step is automated. When we say whole deployment step is automated, it means that the developer develop the code, push it to a version control system. Once it being pushed to the version control system, testing and code building is been done by an test engine or testing tool like Jenkins, Bamboo, TeamCity. Which one do you people use for testing your code?
Jenkins.
Once you test your code, it should be pushed to an environment. Okay. It can be a virtual machine. It can be in cloud. Anyway. So the frequency of code changes has been increased dramatically. Like Amazon, in a day, they make 8 changes. That is the minimum criteria they have it. That in their website, they make 8 changes. So when we talk about CI, that is continuous integration, okay, it is a coding philosophy where the developer, once they develop the code, they put it to the version control and automated testing is being happen. When we do automated testing compared to doing it manual testing, the code quality has been improved. So we need an environment. So if I make 8 time changes in my code, what I need? Once your code has been tested, quality has been done, what do you need for deployment? Is server, is it right? Or a virtual machine? But 8 time creating virtual machine, destroying it is a bigger challenge. Containers help. Using containers, you can immediately create a virtual machine. You can destroy that virtual machine immediately. Okay. It is much more faster compared to, because normal machine creation and destroy take too much time. So when we talk about container, It is not like that container is new. It is there for a longer duration. From 2004, Solaris has come up with container technology. Then it was being adapted by Alexi, Linux Container Service. On 2013, Solomon Hayek, that is the guy who has created the container project, and it became popular. Nowadays, 80% deployment happen through containers. 80% of the deployment is happening through containers. Do you think when I am talking about containers, Docker is only the container service, or is anything else is also there?
EKS, GKS, Elastic Kubernetes Service, and
Those are
in
orchestrator.
AWS. Oh, sorry.
Those are
ECS.
though ECS is also running on top of Docker. Just giving a GUI interface, nothing else.
Oh,
ECS is
okay.
nothing. It's Elastic Container Service is nothing. It's running on top of Docker.
Okay.
Do you heard about OpenShift? Is it right?
Yeah.
All of you, have you heard about OpenShift? No?
Yeah.
Which is a Red Hat platform. Do you think they will use Docker? Yes or no? They will never use Docker.
Yeah, correct. Like they will have their own applications to use that.
Because if they use Docker, they have to pay royalty to the Docker. Okay. So what they use, previously they are using RKT. Okay. Nowadays they are using CRIO. Okay. Means it is not like that when we thought about containers only, Docker is there. There are so many organizations who is having containerized platform. Okay. Like Red Hat, they use CRIO. But now using CRIO platform, they have created something called as Pacman. They are using it. So why Docker become popular? Why not those CRIO? There is like from Microsoft also, they have some container platform. Alexi is there, Systemd is there.
Yeah, Gopal, just taking a guess. It may be because of its
Yeah, it's okay.
reliability. Yeah, it can be because of its reliability and user friendliness, and the quick respond to time. Quick time to response in the servers.
I think, Gopal, it is also important that Docker is open source. So
Everything CRIO is also open source. Every technology is open source. CRIO container technology is also open source. If anyone has gone to Northern America, no one. I visited on November. There is a Citibank. Okay, they have their city service in North America, in Costa Rica. In November, I'm doing some training on Ansible. Okay. Like when I drop down there, I understand that they don't speak English, they speak Spanish. Okay. It is very difficult for me to go from one place to another place. Okay. And the country is a little bit complicated. Okay.
To get our channel membership, click onto the join button, select the 3D99 plan and grow your skills immensely.
So next time when I get an opportunity, I ask them that give me an interpreter, then only I will go, and otherwise I will not go. Because everywhere you go, they speak Spanish. I don't understand Spanish. I don't speak it also. Similar to that, CRIO, then Apache Mesos also has their container service. Their language is too difficult to understand. Okay. Docker, they have created a language which anyone can
Gopal,
understand. If you understand a little bit of Linux
one thing
command,
I will say.
Docker has domain specific language, which is,
The
yeah,
voice
give
is
me one
not
second.
clear. We're not able to follow the.
Now is it clear?
It's clear for me, Gopal. Not sure. Any other guys are facing any issues?
I'm able to hear okay.
Yeah, actually, whoever is connected from the office laptop, they are facing issue actually. So just now, I connected from my personal laptop. It's working fine.
Or you
I
can
think it's
disconnect and
Gopal.
connect
I
with,
am also
like,
connecting from my office laptop only, but I think it's majorly due to the internet connection.
True, because I'm from my office laptop as well.
or you have some, because my internet connection is perfect now. In morning, the voice is not here because of some Bluetooth connectivity issue. I changed it. My voice is clear now, all of you. Or it's breaking.
Gopal,
Yeah.
for me, it's perfectly fine.
Half of you people can listen, half you.
No, it's clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, now it's fine for me.
So Docker has its own domain specific language. Okay. When we talk about domain specific language, means which anyone can understand. It is simple English to start a server, stop a server. Okay. If you know simple Linux command, Docker is being built on top of it. Okay. So that is the reason Docker becomes so much popular in the market compared to other container engine. Docker has two editions. One is enterprise, another is community. When we talk about enterprise and community edition, okay, what is the difference between enterprise and a community edition?
We'll get actually support as well as the it will scan the image. Security scan should be there. If you coming to enterprise level,
DTR,
for every image there is a security scan.
DTR, Docker Trusted Registry. Plus a GUI interface, you will get it. Okay. Plus you will get an GUI interface. Okay. Like your organization is too big. There are plenty of engineers who are sitting there. Okay. So if there is any problem, you have team who can handle it. But smaller enterprise, when we talk about smaller enterprise, so it is not like that they are small, okay, like startups. They have come up with a good idea, they build an application. After building that application, they have deployed that app. and it is running smoothly. It is running like smoothly in the market. Later on, they got more traffic in their environment. Now they want to containerize that app. If they want to containerize that app, they don't have sufficient manpower. Okay, in the market also, if you look for container people, okay, Docker, the person with the knowledge on container technology, it is just 5% the whole market in worldwide. 5% people are in containerization. Docker, everyone knows. When Kubernetes comes on to the picture, it is much more less. Around hardly 2% of the people knows about thoroughly inside depth of the Kubernetes knowledge. Okay. So that is the reason what we do is let's Docker handle everything. My job is to build my application, put it in their environment, and go ahead. Now, there is an why containerization has come into picture. Okay, there is a huge drawback. In mainframe, one server, one application we are running. Okay, then because of that, previously because of that, there are so many issues like limitations are there, slow deployment times. There is huge cost involved in it. Like in my like I'm working with IBM for a longer duration. So I work with their mainframes also. I work with their blade centers, rack servers. Now, I always got complaints from some of the customers, premium customer like Amazon, that we wanted this type of disk. Okay, when I look into their hardware, it is almost 5 years old. There is no replacement available nowadays. There is no replacement available. Okay, huge cost with those hardware to manage. When we talk about huge cost, like smaller organizations, startup, okay, they fail most of the time because of buying those hardware, maintaining it. So many resources are wasted. Scaling become difficult. And when we talk about migration, when we talk about migration become difficult. Like you deploy a solution in IBM server, later on you want to move it to Dell. It's not easier way to migrate, and vendor lock-in is there. So these are the some of the challenges. To overcome these challenges, we come up with something called as Hyper-V. We got Hyper-V. When we talk about hypervisory, what is the job of hypervisory? What is
Sharing
Hyper-V?
the host operating system uh, storage and memory to the with the VM, syncing memory and the storage. Is it? I'm not sure.
Something like that. Something like that. Go ahead. Who else? What is hypervisory?
So Gopal, it's kind of a API, you can say, or an interface that is present
Yeah.
between the operating system and the applications that helps to connect the applications with the operating system.
What else? So many girls are there, nobody is participating. Tell me, what is hypervisory? No one?
It's just a software that helps to create and run the VMs on a physical machine.
Good. Good. This is my Windows machine, okay? On top of Windows machine, if I tell you to run a Linux machine, how you are going to run it?
Through a virtual image, VMware or something. What is it? Oracle VM or something.
Oracle VirtualBox or VM Player, is it right?
Yeah.
What those software do? They shared your hardware with those virtual machines, is it right?
Yeah. System hardware.
So when we talk about hypervisory, okay, so Hyper-V is a technology. Hyper-V is a technology which allows you to virtualize your environment. When we say virtualized, like if you buy a hardware, if you buy a huge hardware with around 20 core processor and 500 GB of RAM. On top of that, I'm running a single machine, a single application. On top of that, I'm running a single app. When I say on top of that, I'm running a single app. So what happened is that, and see my utilization, only 2% of my resource are being utilized. Like if you look into your system task manager, if you just wait for a few minutes, you can see that 49%, 50% of my CPU, 38% of my memory, and 1% of my storage I am using. This is my smaller laptop. But if you have a huge server and I am using only 50% of my resource, it is not worth. So to overcome these challenges, like I can use my resources, I can use my resources 100%. In that type of scenario, this Hyper-V help you. Hypervisory, the job of Hyper-V is to allocate resources to more operating system. What you can do is, like once you install Hyper-V, it comes from VMware, Red Hat has OpenStack, Then Microsoft has their own virtualization. KVM is there. So many technologies are there. Mostly people in the organization, you can see they are having.
There is two type of hypervisors, right? Type 1, type 2, I think.
I'm coming on the type 1, tier 1 and tier 2.
Okay, thank you.
I'll tell you.
So hypervisor is a software or an application?
It's a software. You are getting it from VMware. Okay. VMware or OpenStack, anywhere. Okay. Microsoft also has hypervisor. So once you install this hypervisory, what you can do is on top of this virtual machine, I can deploy multiple operating system. Like I can deploy Windows, I can deploy a Linux, a Mac, another Mac, another Linux system. So using hypervisory, I can deploy multiple OS. One thing, everything will be isolated from each other. Everything will be isolated. It's not like that I install multiple OS on top of one single hardware. They can talk to each other. Every operating system will be isolated from each other. Every OS will have allocation of RAM, CPU, storage. Everything has been allocated. And all this are running as guest operating system. Why they are being called as guest? Why they are being called as guest OS? The reason behind this is that you cannot run an OS without an hardware. Okay, operating system can be deployed on top of hardware, but this Hyper-V make this OS feel that they are running on top of physical hardware. Like you go to your, like previously in vacation we used to go to our family people home. Okay, like mama ji ke ghar jate the. Wherever we go, okay, they make us feel that you are in there. It is like your home only. Okay, so the job of Hyper-V makes your operating system feel that they are running on top of a physical hardware. So that is the reason it is called as guest operating system. Clear?
So Gopal, I have a question. Like VM also works the same way, right? So what is the difference between
All of
these
you,
two? Like,
what is Hyper-V?
No, I mean like VM virtual machine also works the same way, right? Like it also we provide a guest operating system to them, and then like we install the application on top of that, and that's how like VM works. And here also like Hyper-V it is providing a platform where we can have multiple guest operating system, and then we can install the different applications. So it like on high level it looks like same, right?
Yeah.
But am I audible?
Yeah, I can listen to you. Go ahead, tell me.
So yeah, that
Pawan, I
was
can
my
listen to you.
question. Like just now what I said.
Can you come again? I didn't understand.
Okay. So my question was like how how virtual machine and Hyper-V is different. Like a virtual machine also works on the guest operating system concept, right?
No. If you don't have Hyper-V, on top of Hyper-V only, we are installing those virtual machine. Okay.
Mhm.
On top of Hyper-V only, we have installed on
Okay,
top
so
of
it is something that's a
virtual machine
completely
only.
virtual machine concept, right?
Yes. If you do not have Hyper-V, is a hypervisory is a technology which allow you to run virtual machine on top of your physical hardware. Okay. Clear?
Okay, okay, Gopal.
There are two type of hypervisory. One is tier 1, another is tier 2. Okay. When we talk about tier 2, it get installed on top of your hardware. Tier 1, it get installed on top of your operating system. So like Oracle, VirtualBox, or VM player. Tier 2, like Microsoft Hyper-V or VMware ESXi host. Okay. These are tier 1 and tier 2. One is get installed on top of your physical hardware. The other one is getting installed on top of your operating system. Clear what is Hyper-V now?
Gopal, is there a difference in terms of performance or in terms of the use cases with the both the options, tier 1 and tier 2, or is it just two different methodologies?
I am a small developer. Okay. Tier 1, that is ESXi host, required a full physical server. Okay. Got it? It required a physical server with Intel L core processor and everything. Okay. I am a small developer. I have developed an application, a Python based application, which I want to run it on a top of my Linux server. On top of my Linux server, I want to run it. So I have a Windows laptop. How I can run it? Either I format my laptop, install Linux and do it, but I don't want it. I need a simple way. Okay. I need a simple way. What I will do? I will install Oracle VirtualBox. On top of that, I will install Linux and run my Python based application. Okay. So Oracle VirtualBox, VM player, they are not being used for production purpose. They are for testing on them. Okay. Clear?
Yes.
The ESXi host, you use it for production purpose. Okay. Like in your organization, you deploy an application on top of, like you talk to the operation guy, they give you a VM that is running on top of a physical server, which has a redundant memory, redundant processor, a redundant network card. Okay. There only we can deploy our VM ES production grade application. Okay. We cannot deploy it in our laptop. There is no redundancy. But for testing purpose, I can deploy an Oracle VirtualBox, do a Linux system installation, do it. Okay. Clear? Any more doubt? Any one of you have it? What is Hyper-V? Is it clear or not?
Yeah.
What is the benefit of this virtual machine? One physical machine divided into multiple virtual machines. Scaling becomes easier, and by taking the benefit of Hyper-V, okay, Amazon, Microsoft Azure, they are earning like anything else. Is it right? How Amazon or Microsoft Azure is providing your machine? Is it on top of a physical hardware, or it is a shared resource you are getting?
Shared one.
That way only they can earn
Yeah.
on top of. So they are also, it's not like that Amazon is not using the Hyper-V technology. All their machine are running on top of Hyper-V. Okay. Which technology they are using in Hyper-V?
Tier 2.
Which one?
Tier 2
VMware?
technology.
They are on top of Citrix, Zen desktop. Okay. Do you heard about Citrix or Zen? Anyone heard about Citrix or Zen desktop?
We are using Citrix.
So the whole Amazon environment is being built on top of Citrix only. Okay. And nowadays they have moved to KVM also. Okay. Citrix is too costly. So some
There's
of the
also one
server they are
Hyper-V.
going to.
There's also one Hyper-V.
Yeah. Free of cost.
Okay.
KVM. Kernel based virtualization. Some of the server nowadays, all the new servers, they are putting it on KVM because they are using Citrix. They have to pay money to the Citrix. So they are moving some of the environment to KVM. But it is for smaller. It is for smaller organization. Okay.
Amazon is a big one, right? They're using KV. As you told, it's KV. They're using KVM. They're maintaining
They
many, right?
started using it 2 years previously.
Okay.
Before KVM, they have Citrix only, nothing else. Citrix is
Okay.
one of the. It's much more better than VMware. Okay, no failure.
Okay.
There are some limitations of these VMs. Okay. CPU, you need to allocate CPU, storage, RAM, entire guest operating system. When we talk about entire guest OS, what do you understand by this? What is the size of an operating system? If it is Linux, minimum 2 GB, is it right? And if it is Windows, minimum 5 to 6 GB. Okay. So
Please enroll our general membership for 399 plan to get access of all the parts.
Along with that, you can access our other tutorials such as Docker, Ansible, Jenkins, Terraform, Splunk, AWS, Azure, and various other DevOps related premium tutorials with our channel membership. If you would have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopsschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video. To get our channel membership, click onto the join button, select the $399 plan and grow your skills immensely. Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest. Thanks for watching.